Hi guys, welcome back to the Best Start Guide. It is day 37 and not a lot has changed since yesterday. We're really feeling the that lull when you get to the point where you're just farming up food to get the next six in the tavern. There's not a lot going on for the team yet. Let's see. Yesterday, I think I had these ready. So we've got the 540s that we need to level up, and we basically need four more sets of four to level up these guys. So we could take her, for example. Whoops. No, not like that. We can take her, for example, and we can give her her food right now, just so we get her to five. So this is our first five. And I think if I spend most of the normal daily energy on creating a five, and Xeno is the one we want to get up. So we want her to be the next six. I think at a normal pace, I can do maybe one of them per day if I just leave it farming on campaign with all the extra energy and the auto battles. So when we come to campaign with the auto battles, I think 42 left. And I suppose I fibbed a little because I was actually running Durham Forest just so that I could max out Kale. And finally, I'm at that point. So I've switched to trying to get all the demon spawn rares because we don't have enough duplicates of that to fill out the faction. That's my next target. But I did fill out Dark Elves. So now Kale gets all these little bonuses. How valuable this was, whether this is truly the best start to go for your starter, I don't know. But if I look at his stat sheet, you can now see he's getting the extra HP from the faction. He's getting the attack from the faction. He's getting the defense, the speed, the resistance, and the accuracy. So he's got a nice little bonus coming from everything. Is this the best use of your time open game? I don't know. I think so. Because it is extra stats for your main campaign farmer. He is good at his job. If I go to, say, let's go to this one just for a moment. I'm actually done with Durham Forest because I did get all the Dark Elves that I wanted, although I could probably still go for more of the Skinwalker. This guy, Greybeard. I do want to build Greybeard as well, just because he's got the AoE freeze, and I have this idea that I want to build a team with him and Neldor in it. But I basically got enough Spirit Hosts now. And if we farm here, I think the preset's up. Yeah. So with this preset up, even if the preset's not up, this should sometimes farm this in 7 seconds. It's actually kind of nice to see if it lines up. Hey, look at that. We got a 7-second farm on the first try. So this isn't every time. Kale is kind of set up to get his cooldowns restored randomly. He doesn't have any gear that does it, but he does have the mastery on the masteries sheet. It's a combination of this one, Cycle of Violence, which gives him a 30% chance of decreasing a cooldown, and this extra 5% chance of decreasing a cooldown. So between those two, you got about a 35% chance of decreasing the cooldown. I think, yeah, this is only once per turn. So really, it's a flat 30%. It's not like you get them to stack with each kill. That would be great. That'd basically mean you could just use an AoE every turn. That's kind of too bad that you can't fudge that. But this is more or less what the game is going to look like for at least the next week or so, I think. I don't anticipate this is going to change much because we are low on silver. I'll grab that. We got 1.6 million silver. The areas to farm at this point are that, I'd love to make Minotaur a little more efficient. Right now, I have to run all 5 of them. I get the sense that I still can't get away with running Kale as a solo yet. I really want to get the point where he could solo, or maybe Sun Wukong can solo. But right now, neither of them can really do that. They need the support. It is Clan Quest reset, so that means we can actually get more of these accessories. I can get one right now. It's a Sylvan Watcher's Ring. I went ahead and I took 3 more elite quests. I don't know if this is going to anger the clan yet, because we still don't have a lot of clanners taking quests in general. If it starts to be a problem, then my apologies. I'll take 1 elite quest next week. But for now, I'm going to try to take advantage of the fact that this is still largely vacant, and do as many quests as I can. I got the silver selling one, so I could even do that now. Let's see. I've been saving the junk that we've been accumulating all week. I've got 725 artifacts. If I take just we'll go with rank and rarity, just the basics here. These are HP percents, eh? I wonder if I take the just news. Just new, we got 100. What if we select all of these? Are these all shields? Most of them are shields. If we select all the shields, got a cruel one. Yeah, I don't really care about those. So we could sell that. That is some small amount. All right, what if it's not just the new ones? Because we have a lot. And these are all pretty basic. So we made about 1.5 silver. That's just from farming campaign the last couple of days. So the silver selling one is probably going to go fairly smoothly. We go back to quests for a minute. I mean, that's just from campaign. We're going to be farming a lot more campaign. At this point, and this isn't necessarily as fast as Durham Forest, but this is better XP. This is where we're farming for the absolute most efficient for silver, most efficient for XP, and we do want those extra Diabolists. I am running the preset on Kale, just so he doesn't use the AoE on the last guy. Because honestly, once he gets to the last guy, he can just knock him over with an A1. Boom, down he goes. So that the AoE is ready here. That's really it. This is what we're looking at. I don't know that there's anything terribly interesting going on. I kind of wanted to prove that even during the lull, at about the 1 month mark, where you really just have to work at getting your second, your third, your fourth, sixth. I've said that you can maybe get a 6 a week, but I'm not even keeping time like that. I mean, I've been in this game 37 days now, and I've got 2 6s to my name. So I think it is a lot slower at first. My first playthrough, I think it took me 3, maybe 4 weeks to get El Hain to 6. This time was a little faster with Kale, but it's still pretty slow. We did take a detour through Xeno, so that may have slowed down the account progression by a week or 2 because of all the farming, but it's hard to say. Because the farming associated with the fragment summons, I'd be farming Spider when that dungeon was up, I'd be farming Dragon when that dungeon is up, and so on. And that did mean that we got a fair amount of other kinds of gear. So we did get banners and amulets and stuff, probably at a greater frequency than normal. I still don't have an accuracy banner for Dark Elves. That really kind of blows. But I can do I could try to up Kale's damage, honestly. What do we have? 3 million silver? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the 33% crit damage. And I'm going to equip it. It means Kale took a bit of a dip in attack, but his attack is still 3,000, which is reasonable. Crit damage is now 186. So the damage should be more severe. So if we go back to campaign, Brimstone Path, I want to see if that's enough to one-shot that second wave. I also have not been able to get back to Gold 1 in Arena. Did manage to get to it last rotation. Come to think of it, maybe we should do that. So it looks like Kale is still struggling to one-shot all of these champions. I mean, he didn't even manage to hit her at all. Ideally, when he does his quadruple shot, you want each of the 4 hits taking down one of them. We're just not there yet. But if I go to... Oh, I should sign in, shouldn't I? So we'll do the check-in. I'm gonna briefly check the quests. I did run a number of these last night. So, fight in classic with 4 different affinities. Okay, we could do that. If I do a refresher, we can take an easy fight. I do have this one. Mind your banners. This one fills several requirements that you might need in those quests. It's all banner lords. It's got one of each of the 4 affinities. So we got it. I also have an all magic team. Where is it? Magic Hour. I like this one. This is nice and sturdy, and it's almost as fast as my main team. Really, we just want to run these fights as much as we can. I'm wondering if I want to run... Well, I'll switch back to my main. We want to run as many of these fights as possible to try to push back into Gold 1 so that we can attempt to do that challenge. But it's not just about the challenge. We've got a lot of stuff to build in the Great Hall. I'd say Great Hall took me 2 years the first time I played. And basically, it's 2 years of using every last token that you get for Arena. So right now we have a whole bunch that we could use, and I use every last one. You can use the trick where you frequently refresh and look for the easy teams. That is advisable. Also, I'd say you want to build a team that is as fast as possible. I've been over this one before, but basically, when you're doing your arena, that should be here somewhere. No, I moved it. That's right. Toward area priorities. So once you're doing the arena, your early tune, you want your turn meter booster, your buffer, your debuffer, your nuker, and you can always replace any of these roles with an additional nuker. So you can just bring 4 nukers if they're all fast. At the start of the game, of course, you're probably only going to have enough gear to have 1 really good nuker, maybe 1 kind of okay secondary nuker, and that's probably it for the first little while. So that's why we've got War Maiden, even though she's just a 3, and she's probably going to be a 3 for the foreseeable future. Because I'm putting every last bit of development into that new 6. We want a 6-star Xeno. But that was 6 seconds for that stage. I'm just gonna quickly scan through and see what's gonna be easy. This one is gonna cause a bit of a problem because it's got Leorius. But we could run it on auto and see what happens. Really, we need enough accuracy on Sun Wukong to be able to strip Leo. And there are two ways to do it with Sun Wukong. This is why I like starting with Sun Wukong. It has a bunch of the requirements we kind of need. Uh-oh. Crap. All right, well, I'll just burn through his A1. And I guess we have to get lucky here. And we were not lucky. Yeah, we were not fast enough to get through this. So, very clever ISO later. Anything else that looks like I could knock it over? Maybe this team. See, on that previous team, I was hoping I could slow it down and bring in Sun Wukong at the right time, strip away those unkillables. There are two different ways that team was unkillable. Without Sun Wukong, there'd have been no way through that team, but there was no way through it anyway. So 4 seconds to knock over this team. That's not bad. This is another team that can go all unkillable. It's got 2 ways to do it. Should we attempt this team? Yes. I'm just going to unclick the start on auto because I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'd wager this team is probably fast. So we do the positive charge. We do the decreased defense, and it looks like we can go for the Duke. Okay. No, maybe we could have auto through this. The others are all pretty high value looking. I could attempt this team. Why not? Why not? So let's see. We are much faster than this team. They've drenched us in poisons. That's about all there is to it, though. I don't know if the sound is picking this up, but the neighbor is revving his car and it is making a lot of noise, and I can hear it even through my headphones. I don't know if you guys can hear it. If anybody happens to be at this exact point in the video and can or can't hear it, let me know. We want to do a Demon Lord fight. And I want to check the chests, see if we get any shards, any books, anything good. Burrito's been on. Good morning, baby burrito. Nice to see you in the roster. Oh, he's the only one who's been on so far. I guess it's still pretty early. Well, let's hit hard. Kale this is actually a good thing to check out. Kale's taken a bit of a dip in accuracy because of the gearing change. So I want to see if he's still able to land his poisons reasonably well. I didn't think to check the thresholds for Clan Boss. I should have. I made a mistake yesterday when looking at Hydra. I went in just half-cocked thinking I could probably just attempt to bumble my way through it. I couldn't. Basically, the head of decay on Hydra has a speed of 190, so we actually have to beat it. And there's enough resistance to go up to, you need about 145 accuracy to manage to provoke the head of decay. So I need to hit those thresholds on Master Butcher or whatever provoker I want to bring. That's really what I got to do for Hydra. Until we have that, there's really no chance to do it. So yesterday, on the advanced quests, I actually had to do a Hydra key. So I just took in a Gimpy Champ and died immediately, did 0 damage, and collected my key. Anybody in the clan, if you noticed that I did 0 keys on Hydra, that's why. I just wanted the extra silver keys from the Doom Tower. That's the only reason. I just wanted to farm a little more Griffin gear from the Doom Tower. It's kind of a goofy requirement. I think Hydra is definitely overtuned for the early game. If I were to make some changes to this game, if they put me in charge, you know, Plarium, just put me in charge. Like when you guys are sick of the game and everything, put me in charge. I got ideas. I know how to fix this game so that it becomes popular again and fun to play again. And one of them is going to be that Hydra is really overtuned and needs to be nerfed. The other levels of Hydra are fine. I like the idea that Hydra is really hard. But the lowest level of Hydra should actually be easy. I mean, it isn't called easy. It's called Hydra Normal, but even Normal seems hard. I think the lowest level, if it's going to be that hard, the lowest level of Hydra should be called hard. But anyway, it looks like Kale is able to do his poisons, after all. It seems like every time he attacks, he's placing a poison. There's his A1. I saw a poison pop out. There's a poison popping out. I suppose I could use the Stages tool on Hell Hades to figure out exactly what the stat minimums are. The stat minimums are not terrible for Clan Boss. Honestly, for the lowest 3 levels of Clan Boss, you don't need much accuracy at all. You need a little bit by heart, but it looks like Kale still has enough. So I like that. I'm able to get him more crit damage. His numbers look like they're probably a little bigger. We'll see at the end of the run how much better this is than the runs I've been doing in the past. Vast majority of damage is still coming from the poisons, though. So that's what I wanted to make sure of. Kale is getting a lot more damage out of his poisons and out of his War Master procs than he is out of his damage modifiers. Otherwise, his damage would not really be that much better than anybody else's. Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong needs better gear too. But anyway, we're at 5 million damage so far. We've only been in 4 minutes. This is turn 13. I think the current record is somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 million. Once I get Xeno to 6 stars, I think that's going to be what it takes to 1-key this mode. And then we can finally move on to pushing Brutal Clan Boss. And I'd really like to push Brutal, because I think by the time you can get the top chest of Brutal, you start to get a decent chance at a book or a shard every day. So far, we've had terrible luck. Terrible, terrible, terrible. We got, what, a Void Shard once? I mean, that was really exciting that one time it happened. I really think it was exactly once, too. And Ancient Shards? Have I ever pulled an Ancient Shard on this account from Clan Boss? I don't remember it happening. I remember an awful lot of disappointment of not getting shards. I'd swear we get them more often in general. My first playthrough, I was probably getting at least one every couple of days. This account, the luck has been atrocious. So we got the whole party back up. How long do they stay? Oh, not long at all. It looks like we might reach the 8 million again. Maybe. It's all on you, Kale. Can you do it? That was a close one. Yeah, I think that's it. So 7.3. That's still a comfortable 2-key, honestly. I will take it. We could run another right now, or I could just do a rapid fire normal. Let's just rapid fire normal. I also completely forgot to linger on that screen and look at the damage output, but we can look at this damage output. Wow, Z-Blade Master is doing good damage. Kale's damage honestly looks like it's about the same, so I don't know that I don't know that his crit damage matters all that much. I think his modifiers just aren't high enough for that to matter. Because if we look at his attack again, it's what, 3,000? 3,000 attack. I mean, this is really nothing special. He's pretty good for a rare, but honestly, I'd want 5,000 attack on his modifiers when I get really good gear. You want to get something like 100% crit rate, 250% crit damage, and 5,000 attack. Right now, we are nowhere close to it. It'd be nice to get a blessing too. Um, Altar of Souls doesn't have new blessings in it yet. When is the reset? It's in 54 minutes. So basically, I come here twice a day looking for a 1-star blessing for Kale. Because if we can get a 1-star blessing for Kale, I'd probably give him Phantom Touch. That's almost certainly the way we'd want to go. With the Phantom Touch, where is it? Is that Dark? Yeah. With the Phantom Touch, we get a chance at an extra hit, which is based off of attack. If we get a 2-star, we can even crank up his attack by a little bit. Xeno with her Brimstone, though. I mean, this is a real blessing. This is a real deal right here. We get an extra 500,000 every time this procs. So I'd really love to get more masteries on her. I'd love to get her to 6 stars. We are moving at glacial speed here. I think there's not a lot else going on. So what are we? We're about 27 minutes in. I don't even think this needs to be a 1-hour video just because I don't know that there is much else for me to talk about. It's been a while since I even attempted the Doom Tower because I reached a point where we were just getting shut out. But the team isn't really any more powerful. I got to 3 million silver and most of it disappeared into the amulet for Kale. I mean, that's it. I'd love to upgrade Sun Wukong's gear, but maybe with 10 million silver, I'd have enough to do a decent re-gearing of him. Until that point, I don't know. It just seems kind of... we just have to be patient. This game is really good at testing your patience. I guess this is how they get you to spend money because you get to a wall, right? It feels like you've hit a wall. And really, I mean, when you're out of energy and you want more energy because you want to play more, that's not even the way I see it anymore. The way I see it, when we're out of energy, it means I get to stop playing. It means I have an excuse to stop playing because I don't have this energy that I got to push through. In fact, I don't even want to use the energy that I've got. What I want to do is I want to leave it farming. And it's going to be... Now let's look at the masteries for a second. It's going to be a good while. I'd say it takes roughly 150 Minotaur battles to get all the masteries for somebody. Once you're into the red, it takes about 100 battles to get the red scrolls, 50 battles to get the others. It's about 4 for these. It's then about 50 for these, and it's about 100 for these. About. That's an approximation. If I could isolate Kale and Sun Wukong in the battle, let's go to the dungeons. We'll go to Minotaur. And let's just eliminate some of them. I mean, I could even bring 3 so that we also have the speed. I like the speed aura. And just push these 3. Xeno will die very quickly anyway because she if she doesn't manage to land her leech on somebody, she's not really going to have any way of replenishing her health. If I can get enough damage into Kale, I can blast through these waves reasonably quickly. I could also try using presets so that when we get to the end of, say, wave 1, he doesn't just blow his area of effect on a single target. He keeps it in reserve so that you can hit the ground running when you hit wave 2, but it's not like he's dropping wave 2 anyway. And now we're going to take a lot of damage. 1 hit, 2 hit. But now they're probably going to go after him because he's so low. Yeah, there's no way. I can't do this with a small team. I need to toughen up Kale. Or we just need to bring good support. So bringing these two, this is what we're looking at. This is the full team. And because it's 150 per champion, and we got 4 champions to get the masteries on, that's like 600 iterations of Minotaur. At 14 energy each, that is, I don't know. 1 energy tank would be 9 runs. So let's say we get 3 energy tanks per day. Maybe 4. I mean, how much energy do we have per day? We could have up to 1,000 energy per day, realistically. So if I pull out my calculator, and let's say we got 1,000 energy per day divided by 14 energy, we get about 70 Minotaur runs. We want to do 600. That's that's 8.5 days of running Minotaur. So if I were to do nothing but run a Minotaur for an entire week, and this is barring the extra energy that comes in on the daily rewards. This is barring any additional extra energy. You get about 1,000 energy per. And you know what? It's not even 1,000 energy because we're not even at the maximum of 130 in the tank yet. I think you cap out at 130 energy when you hit level 60. Or maybe it's level 70. It's been a while. On my main account, I've been at 130 energy for as long as I can remember. But on this account, we do have a little bit less. I think we're at about 116. And we're at level 46. So I think we get 1 additional maximum energy every time we get a level. And I think that caps out when you hit level 60. Those numbers seem to line up. So we're going to go with that. So we're at close to 1,000 energy per day anyway. So if we could do nothing but farm masteries, it'd take about 8.5 days worth of energy. But that's not the only thing we have to do. We also have to farm up food. So that could make it take even longer. So masteries are going to take a while, and this is assuming you got a 100% chance to take down the Minotaur, which I believe this team does. But that means it's going to be a while before we get our masteries. And that means it's going to be a while before we get our 6-star Xeno. I mean, this game needs more chickens. The game gives you, basically, if you do all the advanced quests, the game gives you what? 1 5-star chicken a month? 1 4-star chicken a month? It is not enough. And Plarium knows that, because they want you to shell out your money. You know, we could say, Plarium, you need to give us more, but there's a reason they don't give us more. This is a gacha game. This is how it works. This is how they get you. They get you playing this game, and then they get you frustrated. They frustrate you into spending money. Why would you want to play a game that frustrates you into spending a huge amount of money? And I don't think anybody starts this way. It's kind of like... well, it's kind of like being a drug addict. You didn't want to get to the point where you hurt all the time and you're frustrated and you're just living your entire life trying to get your next fix so that you can feel normal. But that's what they do. That's how they get you. I'm just telling it as I see it, guys. Um, you know, I question my sanity daily. I've been playing this game for 3 years. This is, like I I used to play. I'm a Generation Xer, right? I used to I used to play the games when they were fun. Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Sonic the Hedgehog. Back when I was a kid, man, the games were fun. You could just play them, you'd have fun playing them, and you just stop. There's no schedule. Now, in middle age, this is what I'm reduced to. Playing this game where I'm obsessed with just getting the tiny little modicum of progress that we get. I don't know. How are you guys finding it? Do you guys feel the same way? Do you guys feel like this game is just sapping the life out of you? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Until then, next time, take care of yourselves. See you on the next video.